when he dug his knee into Floyd's neck until the very life was squeezed out of him. They played part of the video by a teenage bystander who was, who shot the video, and she said he had his knee on his neck for over 9 minutes. Um, the officer's attorney said that it was far greater than 9 minutes and 29 seconds and urged the jury to consider all the evidence in the case.
Hold on, wait a minute. Rewind. Did you just say that the officer's attorney said it was far more greater than 9 minutes? So you trying to say it was more than 9 minutes that he had his knee in his neck? The defense attorney just said that.
This is Chauvin's. This is what I'm saying. In his opening statement, Chauvin's attorney, Eric Nelson, countered that the case is far greater. Oh no, he says the case is far greater than the 9 minutes and 29 seconds that his knee was placed in his neck.
So what he's trying to say is that the case is bigger than just the 9 minutes that his knee was in his neck.
Right. So they're asking you.
That was the whole case.
Well, they're asking you to consider every part of it as far as
I wasn't considering
what
that at
they
all.
did leading up to why he had to be subdued on the floor in the first place. So I'm guessing he's asking you to take a look at the entirety of the case before you make your judgment on just the 9 minutes and 29 seconds that his knee was on his neck that killed him. Yeah.
Well, when you think about it, I mean, as a defense lawyer, I just had the same thing too because I'm getting paid to say it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
What was his personal feelings about the situation, though? Unless he, don't like black people, but that's what I think.
They had witnesses that came forward this week. They had the underage.
Underage witness.
Yes.
A 9-year-old.
Who I think it was either a 9-year-old or 16-year-old too.
It was a 9-year-old as well. A 9-year-old was there. A 9-year-old of all
Yeah,
people.
I heard of that as well. That actually testified in the case as far as, stating what she saw, and they have brothers and they have sisters and they have fathers, and they don't want to see these type of things happening. Even the guy who called the cops on George Floyd in the first place is remorseful because he didn't want to see all of this take place the way it took place. And so,
see, my thing is, I have to understand what this case is really and truly about. Why were the cops really called in the first place? It was said that, George Floyd gave the guy that called the cops a fake bill.
a fake $20.
A fake $20 bill. So they had a reason to actually pull over or stop or apprehend Mr. Floyd.
Yeah, I guess.
Fact number one.
Yeah. I'm only mixed about the fact that he had to, he did. See, when you look at certain things in America, I don't know how other people were raised, but now you have to go around teaching your kids that when they do get apprehended by a police officer, that those certain ways that you're supposed to act and the ways you're not supposed to act and such and so forth and however. And so when they pulled him over, or they asked him for ID, or just asked him to step out the car, it's just certain things where I feel like if it can save your life, just do it just to save your life. I'm not saying you have to be, you have to kiss the white man's ass or, excuse me, ass is donkey. No, but you don't have to, kiss booty, or you don't have to stoop down to other people's level. But I'm just saying, like, sometimes you got to think about the bigger picture. That I want to go home today.
You have to understand.
I have to be ignorant.
I think we got to understand the rights that is afforded to us, and the position as black people that we're in when it's apprehension time, or when it's time to get those silver bracelets on our hands.
Yeah.
You have to understand the temperament or the temper that we're supposed to have at that point in time. And the first thing you got to do is keep calm.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You gotta
Although he
keep calm.
kind of, when he walked up to him and the cursing that he did and all that stuff like that, I was like, wait a minute. Sometimes you hear certain things like that, like in the movie theaters, but you didn't really think that somebody would come to you with F and put your F hands on the car and like he was a little aggressive. One of the cops, I'm not too sure if that was Chauvin, but the one cop that had, I guess I don't know if it was the first video that they showed, the second video. However, the person that was up to him initially, they walked up to him a little like aggressive, but at the same time, all the extra hoopla and the come on man and I'm this I'm that. You simply could have just went in the car.
You see, the thing is, you're innocent until proven guilty.
Yeah, yeah.
You get what I'm saying? You're innocent until proven guilty. So my whole thing is, I'm not getting at George Floyd, God rest his soul.
Absolutely not.
Was
Absolutely.
you're innocent until proven guilty. But I feel that there was something else going on with Mr. Floyd. Despite what people want to see, and everybody wants to paint this as he was the most innocent guy in the world, I'm going to say my respectful opinion. This is my respectful opinion. Could it have been the fact that drugs was playing a source in this situation? Because when we watch the video from 5 different angles, or 6 different angles, or 7 different angles, it doesn't matter how many different angles, there's a lot of body cams that was on there. There was a lot of struggle. It wasn't a bit of a struggle, it was a lot of struggle. They try to get this man in the car. Now, when you analyze or you watch how someone gets apprehended or gets arrested, right? There's a certain level of, as I said earlier, certain kind of temperament or temper that there is.
Mm-hmm.
You already have handcuffs on, number one. Number two, you already know that you're getting arrested. Number three, you know when you get arrested and you have handcuffs on, what's the next step when you're getting arrested and you have handcuffs on? They're going to place you in the back of a police car. You know what I'm saying? They're going to place you in the back of a police car.
Right.
You have to mentally prepare yourself to get in that police car now at that point in time without struggle.
Right.
Because with the struggle now, it gives police officers all rights
To say that
to say that you
it was
put up a
because it-
struggle.
right.
So they had to use force.
Mm-hmm.
You get what I'm
We
saying?
all know this. Come on now.
And
People,
they
come on.
hope, not all officers, but some, they hope and pray that happens. Because you want to know why? They can use the nightstick. What is the telescopic nightstick nowadays? Because before it used to be the old wooden nightstick and they could beat the crap out of you with it. But now they got the one that just, all they have to do is just, and it just comes right out, it extends, and it has the hard point at the top of it. So once they start to get to whipping, that hurts.
Oh, ouch.
I haven't been on the receiving end of that, but at the end of the day, by the looks of that thing, it looks like it hurts because it's metal.
Ouch.
You get what I'm saying? Then you have the likelihood of pepper spray.
Mm-hmm.
That's level 2.
Yeah.
Then you have the likelihood of level 3, which is
Insurance.
getting tasered. Getting shot is the last level. Level 3 is getting tasered. But we never, not once, ever factored in that putting a knee in somebody's neck would be one of these levels, or one of the responses from law enforcement. That is where Officer Chauvin, went wrong in this whole entire situation.
That is true. I mean, that's like, okay, so that's where the case took a different turn. Because, the force that he took was not the force that should have taken place at that time. There's other ways to subdue a person or however the case may be. But I'm kind of like, had he just went into the car in the first place,
Yes. Had he just went in the car in the first place, yes, that would have made everything much, much more
Because
simpler.
realistically, when you think about it, there's no real way to get around the 9 minutes, and you know what I'm saying. Like, okay, we can take the let's taking the 9 minutes away from everything that happened. That's what I would like to know. And others' opinion is like taking those minutes away from him actually being on his knee on his neck. What does everybody else view about the actual case itself, and like how do you view where he went wrong, or if he could have just went inside the car and if
Absolutely.
everything would have been okay, and you know what I'm saying. It's like that's probably why his attorney was like, you know what, can you just take those minutes away from it and like really real like look and see why we had to do this in the first place, which
There's no
again, there's no
justification as to
justification.
yeah. There's no absolutely no justification for that. That is, I don't even think that's
Even
something
with
that's
people
taught.
telling you that you're literally squeezing the life out of that person, and
You see, we have to factor in this. Consider we have to consider this too. Is that a part of their training?
no, it's not.
All right, guilty in my books. Straight up.
No.
Whether there's a struggle, no struggle, guilty. If that's not a part of your training, this shouldn't even be a case right now. This should be a case open and closed. Because at the end of the day, that is not a part of their training. Their training is to subdue, taser, pepper spray, disable. He straight killed this man.
He did.
An unarmed man to at the end of the day. Mm.
Yeah, and like
It's
I
not a
said,
part of his
like
training.
there's no when it comes to, and that's where I guess the Black Lives Matter comes in, because when you think about it like this, like there's no way to get around the 9 minutes, or the let's just say 10 minutes that this man was on this man's neck. There's no way to get around that. Imagine it being your son, your nephew, your brother, your father. That is a long time to be on someone's neck, and you're pressing your hand, and you're pressing your knee with all your might, and this person is calling out, and you're still just not even paying any mind to what's going on or how that person's feeling. So you just let the life just go out of them.
And that's the next thing. His hand was on his knee at the same time while he was pressing down on this man's neck. So that's extra pounds or that's extra force that's being put on someone's airways, someone's ear paths. And then we had a witness that's actually a FDN or not, sorry, I'm thinking about the fire department in New York, sorry. That's actually a firefighter that wanted to get involved
And give him
to give
CPR.
him CPR,
Yeah.
and he denied that too.
Yeah.
What he told her said, if you're an actual firefighter, then you should know what to do at this point in time. What do you mean by that? What do you mean? You should know what to do at this point. Yeah, what she was trying to do in the first place. That's what she know what to do to save lives. Because you're squeezing the same life that she's supposed to be saving. You're squeezing the life out of this man, and she realized it.
He didn't care. So yeah, I mean, there's no yeah. Black people, we can't let go the fact that this man, you know, dug his knee into the back of his neck for such a long time. He didn't care. Even with people screaming at him, yelling at him, telling him, look what's going on. You hear him crying out, and you still have your knee on him, and you just don't care. So maybe it could have been personal towards black people. I'm not sure because I don't know how his whole career was. I don't know. I mean, there are crooked people that get into being a cop just to be crooked, or if he doesn't like black people, or I don't know. I don't know what it was that day, and I don't know what point he was trying to prove, but it landed him in some hot,
Hot
hot
mess.
waters.
And he made a desperate and dumb decision. and landed him in a dangerous position.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Desperate
But
and
I don't
dumb.
know how desperate you could have been because, it wasn't like he was fighting him back or, he had to, oh my gosh, I don't know what this man would have done to me, so I got to do something to him. No, he was already in handcuffs. What more could he have done to you?
And you know
Or
what
how
these,
threatening could he have been?
these officers' first excuses when it comes out to a shooting, when they shoot a black person or shoot anybody.
What is that?
I was in fear for my life.
That's what I'm like. Come on now. How can you he with handcuffs on him?
This wasn't one of those kind of situations. You wasn't getting away with that one. You're not getting away with that line.
Come on, no.
For sure.
Absolutely.
I'm pretty sure his lawyer told him that one. Like, yo, that script right there ain't even gonna play out in court.
No.
You use that, it's over. It's over.
You were in fear for what after that?
All
How
four
long
of them?
after- Right.
All four of y'all? Come on, stop it. Nope. And he's in handcuffs. That means that there's a level of advantage at that point.
Right. And there was none.
He was at a great disadvantage because he's in handcuffs. So how could you be in fear for your life? So I know he couldn't use that excuse. I was waiting for it. I was like, let me see if they're gonna use this stupid excuse, the same script that is being it's used throughout the whole entire police force nationwide. When some kind of mistake goes down, some accidental shooting goes down, that's the first thing that they say. If there was no witnesses, oh my gosh, thank God there was witnesses, because they could have spin this whole entire story whichever way they wanted to. As long, even though there's body cam footage, I bet you the higher ups, captain, sergeant, whoever it is, they'd have got rid of that. Oh, nobody's body cam was on at that point in time. But thank God there was witnesses there to see and actually take a video and videotape this whole entire situation, because trust me, knowing the way how police is up here in the United States of America, them body cams would have disappeared in 2.5 seconds if there was no witnesses. And they'd have flipped this whole entire story and would have said what?
They were in fear for them.
I was in fear for my life.
Yeah. Well, this time he had no fear. This man did absolutely nothing to anybody. What is a fake $20 bill nowadays? Does that cost you your life now? My goodness, poor George.
It wasn't worth it.
No.
It was not worth it at all. Trust me. Like, this.
Over $20. I mean, I've seen people lose. Not seen. I've heard of people losing their lives for much less.
Of course.
Which is so silly, but $20.
$20. A fake $20 bill. What can you do? And you see, I gotta kind of blame the store clerk too, because all this wouldn't unfold if you just told the person, listen, it's a fake 20. You don't know if the man knew if it was a fake 20. Sometimes people get change and don't even know what kind of change they're getting.
True.
You don't know if he intentionally gave you the fake 20. Why didn't you inform the guy? Why didn't you inform George Floyd, listen, this is fake?
Yeah.
I bet you that didn't even happen.
Probably not.
Nope. Because people are so quick to call police on black people.
Yeah. Which is why we gotta make this. Well, I guess this is why this Black Lives. I'm still kind of half and half with Black Lives.
Now you want to talk about you regret the fact that you called the police. Is you the one that called the police in the first place? You don't, like I said, he don't know if he intentionally gave him a fake $20 bill. As I said, this could happen to anybody. He could probably went to a store. He could have probably been he did a transaction with somebody else. The person gave him a $20 bill, not knowing it was fake. You know how much fake bills it is passing around here in this United States of America, and people don't even know sometimes.
That is true. That is very true.
Unintentionally getting it, unintentionally using it at the same time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that is very. I didn't even think about that. I did not even think about that.
I'm telling you.
Wow. He didn't even. He could have. Yeah, he could have not known. No,
With this whole entire situation, God is just opening up our mind and have me thinking in different aspects and different ways on how this thing could have went down, how it couldn't have went down, how it didn't have to go down. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But there is a thing called coincidence. It's a coincidence that he had the $20 bill and it was fake, and he didn't even know about it. But your first thing is, oh, it's a black man paying me in a fake $20 bill because the store clerk wasn't black.
No.
You see how far racism extenuates?
Yeah.
So you think it was an
That's a black
insistent
people
thing?
thing.
Yeah.
That's what we do.
Yeah, you thought it was, you insisted on, yeah, I'm going to call the cops. It's a black people thing. That's what they do. They give fake bills.
Yeah.
You don't know that? That's what you call stereotypical thinking.
The sad part is, like, do people really get in trouble for that nowadays? Like, this
Yes, people still do get in trouble for that.
Jeez, we do?
People still do get in trouble for stuff like that.
Oh, wow.
You know.
Like, you didn't even have to go like that. Yeah, like you said, he could have simply told him, listen, this is fake, and we don't, because it, how many times you done heard that from some people, from the store clerks in the store? Oh, this is fake money, you can't use it here, or whatever the case may be. You check it off and they can't use it. They let you know you can't use it here. That's it. Done the, done the situation right then and there. It doesn't have to go to such.
Yeah, but the store clerk's intention was to see something escalate from further than there. What is $20? What is a $20? Would you losing that? Did you, are you in an hour? That's a store. Making that probably in the next 5 minutes.
Yeah.
If so much space and time.
And that was a black neighborhood, so, or something like it, because I mean I've seen black people go.
Come on,
so.
come on now, man. That was uncalled for. And now you're talking about you regret doing what you did. You regret it. You're remorseful all of a sudden now. Yeah. Well, I'm remorseful. I didn't think that it was going to escalate that much to that effect. Yeah. Well,
it's a black man.
That's the problem. You didn't think. You didn't think in the first place. You didn't think to tell the man, listen, this is a fake bill, and let's see what we could do about this. You have something else, or this is what you intended? Is this what you intended on using to pay me in the first place? If so be the case, here what? Take your fake $20 bill. Don't come back in my store.
Yeah.
What happened to that? What happened to that approach? But you're remorseful now? I don't even want to hear that. That's just it's a weak excuse. It's weak.
Ouch.
It's weak. I don't even want to hear that. I wouldn't even, if I was a family, I'm not even taking that, because there's so much different approaches that you could have took for that situation right there. But you want to call the police. You want to call the police. Really? Because you wanted to see something unfold from that situation. Because you probably looked at the man and said, yo, he look kind of sketchy. Yeah, acting kind of funny. Yeah, acting kind of strange. Let me call the police.
Yeah.
It's an easy target.
And now look what happened.
Well, now you want to talk about you're remorseful? And if I was the family of George Floyd, I would tell you to go stick your remorse somewhere else where you can't see it. Stick it where the sun don't shine, because I don't want to hear that right now. I don't want to hear that, because hear what? Because it was a chain reaction as to what you did happen to my family member now.
His sister doesn't even want to be at the trial because she doesn't want to relive the situation again. The brother is there.
Although they did get a settlement.
That, listen, the main person I feel sorry for is George and the daughter of him that now has to go on without him because of a fake $20 bill. It didn't have to go down like that.
A fake $20 bill.
It didn't have to go down like that, And I do believe that Chauvin does deserve some definite time. I don't know for how long, but, we got to at least start letting these cops see that justice needs to be served for the things that they do. White, black, purple. Sometimes it doesn't even matter. Like,
I'm going to go into the prophetic right now. I'm going to tell you the outcome of this case. He's going to be found guilty. Why I tell you that is because they passed the George Floyd law. And he's going to be number one on that list right there. He is going to be the prime example, because there's a change now that's taking place. They passed the whole law in this man's name at the end of the day. You think the person that the person that its name is in, and the person that is the perpetrator of the crime in the first place is not gonna be the number one? You're gonna have to pay. Why you think they passed along his name in the first place? It's just only a matter of time. I'm just waiting for this case to be over and here guilty.
It
Watch.
shouldn't even take this long. I mean,
Watch. No,
it shouldn't
no,
even been this
it's
long.
not. It's gonna take a while because you are afforded the right to a fair trial.
Fair for why? What,
It was unfair that you took this man's life, but any murderer has to stand trial. Doesn't matter if it's a police officer. Doesn't matter if it was a civilian on the street that committed a crime and committed a murder. They have to stand trial. They don't just fast forward to a life sentence. People that's doing life in jail right now, they get a life sentence because they had to go through the process. They had to go through the judicial process. They had a right to an attorney. They had a right to have a fair hearing. You know what I'm saying? They have a right to appeal that hearing after that. They have the right to parole if they get found guilty. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah.
Or no parole.
Sometimes you get it life without the possible chance of parole. Some murderers get the life with a possible chance of parole. So that's what I'm saying. They have you get a lot. You have a lot of rights afforded to you in the judicial system. So like it or not, that's just how the judicial system goes. Yes, it does. It takes a while. But I see this is not going to be drugged. It's not going to be dragged out It's not going to be dragged out a long time. This case has started. It's been a year so far. So it's time to fast forward on this one and get this case finished and over and done with. Because here, what? Justice has to be served. An example has to be set when it comes down to police officers and the nonsense that they do to black people, especially in the Black Lives Matter era. There's no way that this guy gets off scotch-free at all. I can't predict the life, but he's gonna get some time for sure.
That's for sure.
He's getting time, and he'll never become a police officer again. Can never be.
Well, we want to hear your thoughts, feedback, anything that you guys would like to say about the George Floyd case. I would love to hear anyone's feedbacks on this case and what you think with the 10 minutes and without the 10 minutes. We're going to factor in both, or how you feel.
What do you think about the case? What do you think about the different footages, the different footage of body cams? That's what I would like to know. Because, like I said, everybody's not a saint. There were things that went on in this arrest. This made this arrest very difficult. We saw him being put inside the car, but he didn't want to sit inside the car. He didn't want to stay inside the car. He was actually fighting to not be inside the car. So they had to get kind of rough with him at the end of the day, because once they placed him in the car, he came out on the other end. He went through one door and he pushed out. Yeah, they were trying to pull him in to situate him the proper way, but he ended up pushing himself back out the other way, out the other door. That's how he ended up on the floor in the first place. Yeah, that's the truth. It's the truth. I mean, people don't like to hear the truth, but it's the truth. How did George Floyd end up on the floor in the first place? He put himself there. Still doesn't justify a knee going in his neck for 9 to 10 minutes, though. Squeezing the life out of him. If you're subduing the man and trying to, what were they trying to keep him down for?
That's what
He was waiting for backup?
They didn't call for backup.
They didn't call for backup.
No.
But they called for paramedics. So this was a mental situation.
I don't know. if they thought it was a mental situation, because he was going on and ranting and raving about he can't do this and he did this and his mama died and he don't want to die, he don't want to get shot, and he has a fear of going in the back of the
It's
car.
claustrophobic.
And,
He said.
He was doing a lot. He really was.
I'm telling you, he was doing a lot. That's what I'm saying.
He did a lot.
He did a whole bunch. He did a lot. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna sit here and lie. He did a whole lot at the end of the day. When it comes down to apprehension of a suspect, he did a lot. He went in. They tried to place him inside the car.
And he is a big dude.
Yes, he is. He really is. It
He
did take 3 people.
Forceful. Like if I'm shorter than you and I'm a cop and I gotta place you as a 6'5" dude or something like that. I'm only 5'5", so where am I going? What how can I get you in the car with my short self? But he was a big dude. He had muscles, and he was acting a little bit.
You lucky it wasn't NYPD though. I ain't gonna lie, cause NYPD be going rougher than that. They end up calling for backup for like 2-3 sets of crews, 2-3 sets of cars to be coming, pulling up and stuff. They be jumping on you and all kind of nonsense, get you on the floor. I've seen it. Trust me, I've seen it already. When a suspect is hard to subdue, they call for backup. Here, NYPD call for backup, even if it's 4 people, and they can't get that person down. They call for more backup, and you just see a whole bunch of people just coming. Just, I can't get on top and get down. All kind of nonsense, you know what I'm saying? It get real rough. But I've never seen an officer put a knee to nobody's neck. Not possible. Never happened.
Not for that long.
Never seen it.
Like that's where he kind of like flipped the story for me, cause like you could have done anything else, or you could have been on his back, or like kneeled over him and was talking to him a little bit, or like hunched over him a little bit, or something to the effect of like, not on his neck, and then like when you're hearing people tell you that you're sucking life out of him, you're still just like, oh, I don't give a shit. Like, sorry, excuse me. But, he just didn't care. He didn't care at all about this man's life and what he was doing. And so that's that's going to be the main thing that's going to play in everybody's mind is you being on his neck and it's being forcefully done. And for what reason? So you got to find out those questions and get those answers. That's what I want to know. What was your reasoning behind it? Did it make you feel good at the end of it all? Because now you got to sit here and go through all of this nonsense for what? Or you could have just like, it's a sticky road we going down here. So I just want to hear everybody else's thoughts and what anybody else might have thought about George Floyd's case and what we're and the facts about his case thus far.
Well, you done heard my thoughts already. I think he wanted to show the world because he did see them cameras. He saw them cameras. He saw them cameras in his face. And I think he knew the end result of this, what was going to take place. I think he wanted to show the world that he could take a knee too. Yep. I think he trying to show the world that he could take a knee too. Y'all black people could take a knee. I'm going to take a knee too. But in a black man's neck, in his airwaves, so he can't breathe. So the saying is now, I can't breathe. Black Lives Matter. That's how the saying. That's what we've been chanting now, right? That's after that whole situation went down, that's what everybody's been saying. I can't breathe, and Black Lives Matter. Yeah. Although it been mattered though, it's the next thing it needs to matter to us black people too.
Another topic for another time.
Another topic for another time. I'm not gonna jump into that. I'm really not gonna jump into that. But black lives should matter to black people, because that's the first thing that that's the first defense white people have. How could Black Lives matter to us if it doesn't matter to you in the first place? it has to matter to you first before you want to tell us it matters to us.
We don't set examples
No,
as the black people of the universe.
exactly. Exactly.
You
A
know.
lot of black on black crime, but we're not going to discuss that right now. We're going to save the topic. We're going to save that topic for the next time. If we do come on.
Anything else that you would like to add in or talk about tonight?
I mean, that's. Ooh. Sorry, folks. Sorry. It's been a long day.
Oh my.
I've been on a podcast. I've been behind this computer for the whole entire day trying to get everything set up.
Means you know he's going to sleep in like the next 20 minutes.
Darn straight. That's about it, really and truly. That's been my thoughts. I think outside the box. I thought outside the box today. Don't forget, folks. Desperate decisions lands you in what? Dangerous positions. You made that desperate decision that you know that you shouldn't be making. Just know the consequences of that desperate decision. You want to be desperate? Oh, God's gonna show you some decisions, some
Dangerous outcomes.
some dangerous outcomes. You ain't gonna like it. So if I were you, what I would do is seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all things shall be added unto you. A little Bible for you. A little Bible for you.
Amen.
Mm-hmm. So, this has been the Respective Angle Show with
AJ.
and AJ's Live. Remember to like, subscribe, share. We're going to be posting this on YouTube. We're not live on YouTube right now because we haven't been using the StreamYard apparatus, but we're going to be getting back on that very soon. Just have to figure out a couple things, how to get certain programs to work with the other program and then the program working with the other program to, everything could be working all together as one with technology. Yeah, technology is just like that, where you can put programs together to sync with each other, to work into, interconnect with each other, so we can be streaming simultaneously on all platforms. Don't forget that we're going to be on our podcast. I'm going to be on my podcast thing on next Saturday at around about 1 p.m. And we're going to be definitely having the Gospel Experience Hour once again. It was a pleasure to, kickstart it earlier this evening. And, go check it out. Go check it out. The podcast is on Spotify. It's on iHeartRadio. It's on Google Music. It is on Apple Podcasts and many more platforms to come. As I said again, like, share, subscribe. Follow us on Facebook. Like the video. Log on to the respectiveangleshow.com. Leave your comments. Leave your suggestions. Leave your feedback. And also sign up to the subscriber portion of the website, where you can subscribe to the website itself, not YouTube, not Facebook, but you can subscribe to the website itself and become a subscriber. You don't have to pay for it. Everything is free, $3.99. Nobody's asking you for any money. And that's about it for me. That's pretty much my tag right there. What you got? You got anything else?
No, that's it.
So, without further ado, this has been the Respective Angle Show. And respect yourself first before you can even think about respecting each other. You gotta respect yourself first. You have to respect yourself. How can you respect others if you don't respect yourself? That's where it starts. Respect starts from you. You have to respect yourself. So, as I always say, respect yourself and then respect each other. And with that, have a good night. God bless.